whatever.
Hey, fellas, I'm going to drop and let you guys have this convo. My dog's acting up and all that.
Live your life.
Hang on a second. I'm going to drop some links in the back for you.
For me, too?
Yes. So while you guys were having this conversation, I was building some shit and put some stuff into this other thing and built an app based off of this conversation.
Okay.
Oh?
Way to go, nerd.
You know, in my spare time, right?
What is it? What's the app?
It is chronological timeline of the Abrahamic lineage, starting from Adam and Eve, going through.
I love it.
The rib and the flood, and some of the questions that due diligence had about, like, where do we find these original documents, right? And where are they housed? Where can we find them? And kind of all the major points that went over all the stuff, kind of for the most part. But here's a link to, that's the 10th Man live stream noted inspiration of the Source app. And here's a interactive Google Doc that works as a living document that hosts the information within that app. Good conversation, guys. Really good conversation.
Thank you.
It's nice to see Bible conversations go in a way where it's not just one person affirming their own assertion. You know, if anything else, allowing each other to opine, so we should say, upon their own beliefs and thoughts and faith, right? Because
respectfully,
and respectfully, yes, because it's not. You know, here's the deal, and I'm ordained twice in Christianity. Straight up.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be mad at you, Fatty, because you like Harry Potter more than Twilight, right? So go ahead.
I'm by the way,
neither really. I'm more of like a zombie. Well, I don't know. I'm more of a.
Me too. But Jacob was fucking hot. Anyway, go ahead.
Jacob was fucking hot. Oh my god, way hotter than Edward was. Way hotter.
yeah. But some people like the dark, broody, like weird, pretty boy looking thing.
He was just pretty. It's that simple.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
So, by the way, name
that was Gay's 10th Man segment. Go ahead.
When Egypt was monotheistic in the very beginning, the name of that god is spelled Ptah. I'm pretty sure this is the right one. I'm 99% sure this is the right one. And it's from him that he's the creator god. He created man. He created all the gods who came after. Like, it's actually, I had no idea about this until I was actually writing a paper. And I spent years working on this study where I was looking for evidence of Joseph in Egypt.
Yeah. Nice.
And man, it took a lot. And
yeah, there's some pretty compelling information out there as far as like the proof stuff goes. But then again, you know, a lot of it's circumstantial, a lot of it's kind of hearsay, a lot of it's relics, you know, but like, well, there's definitely some compelling proof out there. There is.
So here, check this out, because I didn't know this until recently when I met a gentleman by the name of Philip Shipman. He's got a channel called The Jesus Conspiracy.
Yeah, I know that channel.
He is awesome. He and I have had some of the coolest conversations. Yep. And he was talking about the sixth cataract on the Nile. And he recently went to Elephantine Island. And I was like, well, I think that this is where we find Joseph, you know. And he was like, well, and I was like, hey, like, I started looking at it, and he had brought up that on Elephantine Island, there's the ruins of an ancient Jewish temple where sacrifices were carried out. And it went on for a couple hundred years. And actually, it turns out that where that temple is on Elephantine Island, there's also the famine stela is there, which was carved by the person who I pegged as being Joseph.
Awesome.
And it's when Pharaoh, there was the famine was going on, and Pharaoh tells him, go and talk to God and see if you can find out when this famine's going to be over. And so he goes off into the wilderness and is traveling down the Nile to commune with God and find out. And he falls asleep on Elephantine Island, has a dream. God talks to him. He builds this stela, carves it all out, and documents that God talks to him there. And then come to find out, I mean, like, it was well after his death, he was deified by Egypt. And there was a cult in his honor for like 1,000 years. And that it was during the time frame of that cult that, and right after the destruction of the first temple, that Jews showed up in Egypt looking for refuge. And because they were, it's my theory anyways, that it's because they were the descendants of that person, who is also Joseph, that Egypt allowed them to set up on Elephantine Island where he communed with God. Because that's the thing, is if you were going to take the Ark of the Covenant somewhere, it has to be somewhere where God communed with man.
Right.
And so, like, it's so cool. So cool. It just solidified, like, because, for years I was like, maybe I'm crazy. And then this just like solidified so much of my work. I felt so much less crazy.
That's where faith comes in, right? Because, we can't believe what we don't know, right? Yeah. We can only know what we don't believe, right? And that's where faith comes in with this whole thing, is that it's all about individual faith, right?
Yes.
When folks are using the Bible as ammunition against each other, it fucking drives me nuts. It absolutely drives me fucking furious, right? Because that's not necessarily the core of what Jesus is all about. It's one thing to use it as reference, as, hey, think about it this way. But when we get into these conversations that end up being a one-sided, you're wrong because my God, right? Well,
my dog laid down, so I'm sticking around a little bit longer here. He went to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, all gods are allowed to exist in America, right? If it wasn't for the First Amendment of America, right, the last 2,500 years would not exist the way they do now.
Correct.
Mormonism would not exist, right? Scientology would not exist. If there wasn't a sentiment, right, with the American movement of Christians, right, who fled Europe because they were being persecuted by Christians.
Yep.
The same thing's going on. I'm aware. Christians telling each other, my God trumps your God. My Jesus.
Yeah, Tarek and I had a conversation about that the other day, about Ireland and Scotland. I'm not just, a lot of people go, oh yeah, we know William Wallace. Blah, blah. No, it's like, no, stop it.
I mean,
I know.
There's actually still people, there are still Christians who deny that conversion by the sword actually took place.
It's rationalizations and justifications that get us in trouble in life, right? Whether it's through addiction, whether it's through cultism or cult of personalityism, right? When we get into spots in life where we instantly defend things that we really don't fucking know, that's just a rationalization and a justification, right? And when we rationalize our actions to treat each other shitty, that's where Jesus, to me, would step in and say, hey, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, like, so did you, I'm not sure what you're aware of and what you're not, where we were when you came up, and really how any of this even came about was my interaction with Andrew Wilson on Tomatoes, and then having his wife calling me names in the chat, which I would never sit there and call her names in the chat like that. It was, and the fact that anybody came to her defense or tried to say, oh, 10th man, because when I went up on the panel, and then, no shade against Dusty, I get what he's saying, but that don't mean I'm not allowed to play dirty games if other people are playing dirty games, right? And people in chat said, you're supposed to address him because this is his wife's actions. That's your first mistake. And I said, that is the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And I showed his hypocrisy and her hypocrisy and how they believe nothing about Jesus. They believe nothing about what they say. It is all hate.
Well,
nothing but
fear.
Hate.
Yeah.
Wait, 10th man, because see, here's the thing is, they believe in Jesus, just their Jesus isn't buddy Jesus or, you know, the mid Jesus or the cool Jesus himself has been twisted and manipulated in his image has been twisted and manipulated in order to suit whatever
I want you to tell. All right. So the Bible geniuses, you guys so smart. I ask you a question.
Okay.
Where, anywhere in a thing that you guys can tell me, maybe it was by Jesus, but maybe not. But people say it is, you know, or any degree varying above that level, where Jesus said, you should go around and tell everybody else what they should do, and also shame them and ostracize them publicly because you're doing it in my name.
I agree with you.
I know. Nowhere, bro.
Exactly. What it is.
So the 50 years of research that I did were right and all these people are wrong? Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah. The bottom line is what Jesus said is that judgment is for God and God alone. Now, let's say this is where, and this is another thing though, because then you get some Christians who say you're never allowed to judge. That's bullshit, because here's the thing. If somebody robs me, I need to judge that and not let them in my house again. Does that mean that I'm mean to them or I ostracize them or I fucking spit on them when I walk by? No. It just means I make the judgment that they're a thief and I shouldn't let them in my house again.
Yeah. And you pray for them in the meantime. You pray for their salvation, right? You pray for their path to lead them to Jesus. That's
or to heal them, however.
Yeah.
You know, because ultimately at the end of the day, if they don't want to go to Jesus, they don't have to go to Jesus. And I respect that completely.
Yeah.
Maybe their walk with God is actually better than mine in some way.
You know, there's only 4,200 gods that are worshipped on earth today. No, I mean, like millions if you count the Hindus, like real traditional.
Listen,
down to the core, but like,
you better be careful because Trump may sign an executive order that's saying that is illegal.
Yeah, executive orders aren't law.
Yet.
All I can say, like I said earlier,
executive orders is 99% of them are copied and pasted directly out of the mandate for leadership document.
You mean the
Project 2025? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they called it something else too. I thought maybe it was Project 2025.
Yeah, it's the Heritage Foundation's
right. That, yep.
And it is straight up being used, copied and pasted directly into executive orders.
Yeah, but remember, he had no hand in that.
Oh, he doesn't know those people, right? But they're all in the cabinet, and you know, all of his founders, and you know, all the billionaires are members, you know, that are in his government. But you know, I mean,
I would have hoped that he would be what he said he was, but that's okay because I'm sorry to say it.
The thing is,
getting what you deserve.
When we come to the table, especially as Christians, right? We have to come to the table with the perspective, especially in debate and in conversation, that other people have the right to express their own opinions, right? Jesus wasn't an authoritarian. If anything, he was a fucking anarchist.
He was. He was a badass. He was not some fucking pacifist at all.
No, he wasn't a bootlicker, right? He railed against government. He railed against those that would have their hands over people trying to puppeteer them, right?
Correct.
And he met people where they were, right? He didn't expect them to come to him. He met them where they were. He washed people's feet, for Christ's sake, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna see Andrew Wilson washing anybody's fucking feet. I'll give you $1 million if it ever fucking happens. Cash money. He'll never do it.
Yeah, no, I don't believe you.
Too much self-pride, too much ego, right? Too much self-righteousness. And that's what Jesus rallied against, was self-righteousness.
Pride
right?
comes before the fall.
Exactly. And, that coming to these debate stages and these, online debate stages where you're not presenting any information, right? It's all about the argument and who makes the better argument. Well, debate, that's not what debate is. Debate is presenting of information and allowing the information to win the argument.
Very true.
He misquotes the fucking Bible all the time. I'll tell you the one thing he really likes to misquote, and he does it all the time, is the prodigal son.
Who's he?
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew.
Oh.
Yeah, the prodigal son.
I wish I had a clip about that, but don't worry about it. Go ahead. No. I'm not trying to make this an Andrew bashing panel because I actually like the guy.
I don't think necessarily that he's a bad guy. I'll say that. I don't think he's a fucking good guy, and I don't think he's on the right side of the arguments. And I think
he's a paid shill.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And it's basically just kind of a joke to him too. When you're on a debate and you're clicking your shit off and you're doing this shit and talking to your own chat just so you can get them fucking riled up and shit, that's fucking disingenuous bullshit is what that is. It's disingenuous bad faith.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yes and no.
Because you're only there to make other people look stupid. You're not there to win any arguments or anything else. You're just there to make them look dumb. In which case,
I made him look dumb.
You're a self-righteous prick. Great.
Yeah, but I made him look dumb.
I will give him this. One night, he was live streaming, and Vegan Gains got on with him, and he started the normal back and forth, but it was pretty clear that he was in a really, really bad place mentally and emotionally. And it's one of the few times I saw Andrew Wilson become actually soft.
And reach out and be a mentor and be a sponsor and a helper and a teacher.
Be caring.
Yeah.
And try to help lift him up and distract him from his problems. And that, I had a lot of respect for that. One of my biggest problems is the rhetoric about women, because now you've got a lot of people in the Crucible, not all of them, a lot of them, who literally think that, women are just sit down and shut up and get me a beer, sit down and shut the fuck up. And, that's, and if you say any different.
But they work at the dollar store. And she makes twice as much as him. Okay.
If you say anything different, then you're automatically a feminist. And that's
or libtard or leftist or whatever the label is. Jesus tried to eliminate labels, right? He was all about not labeling each other, not judging each other upon those programming labels that we're all given.
Yeah. And, scripturally, and, Jesus himself gives women a place of honor. Okay. And
Absolutely.
men a place of responsibility.
Yep.
But same thing too. As a woman, I have a responsibility, to my
according to what Old Testament verse though?
Well, look at even how verses. I can't even give you one off the top of my head because horrible at that.
What we don't do when we're trying to give examples of how Jesus would live is quote the Old Testament, because he wasn't in the Old fucking Testament, right?
Correct.
Those are thousands of years before him. Those are old mantras that he tried to push against.
That's why I say it's more of a history book than it is, actual full on instruction for us.
Exactly.
But historically, even throughout with the Old Testament and in the New, and I think that that's something Jesus was trying to do, was to correct where the misogyny had built up at the time. Unfortunately, it went completely off the rails well after the crucifixion. But, women, we have a responsibility to our children and to our homes. We're supposed to be led and protected and provided for by our men, and
no shoes in the kitchen because we don't want you wearing shoes. You might run out the back door. You know what I mean?
God forbid we say anything. It might be more intelligent than what you're thinking. But
it's not too hard to get a bunch of dudes that have been dumped by some chick, right? Because they're too fucking prickish to keep a chick around.
Yeah.
To get them angry about chicks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, being jaded is a choice, right? Just because you got dumped one time.
My husband,
right?
I just yelled at my husband came upstairs. I said something, and then he's like, "Way to tell me you cook pork chops." And I'm like, "You couldn't smell them?" He goes, "I can't breathe out my nose."
Telling you, those allergies are bad right now.
He's right beside the fucking stove. He's less than 5 feet from the stove.
Oh my God, how is he that on? Okay.
Well, on the other side of the wall, but still, I mean, come on.
Fair. But yeah, though, that's one of my biggest criticisms of Andrew Wilson is within the Crucible. I mean, he complains about everyone has this perception that, like Rachel is treated so badly. And it's like, have you listened to yourself speak about women lately? Because there's a lot of
people. I don't even know about that.
Look at her own example. I mean, don't even bring him into it, because she leads by her own example. She exhibits a lot of fucking fascistic and,
this is all I gotta say. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I just got to get this out. So this is the thing. And I get Dusty, his response to it, that it was kind of weird or whatever. But in all honesty, before the 2 or 3 people that said you got to address it to Andrew, and I'm like, that's the best idea I ever heard. I said it in the chat. I was completely taken aback. Completely taken aback. I have never been disrespectful to Andrew ever one time. I've talked to him 3 or 4 times. I am on Sarah's panel. I am respectful for the most part. Right? Like, I've had reasonable conversations with him every time I've talked to him. Never would I ever come at somebody like that in Sarah's chat, and to see somebody do it, especially after I left there and didn't go back for like months because I was embarrassed at how bad I flipped out on Ryan. But I'm not going to do that again. That wasn't, he doesn't deserve my energy that much for me to do that. But I got mad. But
that's kind
of to take it from both sides, right? I'm getting it from the straight trans supporter and from Andrew Wilson's wife on the same channel. And I'm trying not to react like I did to Ryan. And to have somebody who has a tremendous amount of notoriety attack 10th Man, the gay Canadian who never made any money off YouTube, has done terrible, terrible things that he feels bad for a lot, not anything to do with most of the stuff you guys even know about. And for me to try to do better and then be attacked by somebody of high reputation, monetary value, and then be attacked like that was so jarring. I didn't even know how to respond. I literally said in the chat something to the effect of, I don't know how to respond to this right now. Oh, well, you're a sodomite. Stop being disgusting. And I'm like,
10th Man, I saw it, and I was
I was completely taken aback, and I still am. In all honesty, I'm not offended, right? Like, I don't really get offended because I am way more offensive than any of these people can be, right? Like, but I'm trying to do better, right?
And would you ever, do you think for a minute, hear either one of the Wilsons admit that they did anything wrong or show any weakness at all?
No,
they
never. They literally, everybody.
When 10th Man left after he spoke to Andrew, no, he didn't at all. As a matter of fact, he kind of made a joke out of it and said, "No, I stand by it. That's what my faith says." And and it was like, wow,
too bad, gay
programming says.
Here's what bothered me was first, before he knew Rachel had said
showing
right.
Sorry, hang on, one more time. Sorry.
Hang on, 10th. Before he knew,
I'm a little upset.
I understand. Before he knew Rachel had said that, it seemed like there was an olive branch going to 10th man. You know what I'm saying? From Andrew. And then as soon as he heard it was Rachel who said it, first thing he did was laugh. And then he was like, well, that is what our belief says. And, you know, I'm not going to be sorry for it. And, you know, and that's that. And then after 10th man left, you know, it went right back to being a joke again. And right along the same kind of lines where it was kind of like I actually did lose a lot of respect in that exchange, because it's like, look, you are a much bigger figure. And like it or not, if you're going to be at the status level that you are, you have a lot of responsibility for the things that you say and how you act. Just because that's your belief doesn't mean you get to be mean and cruel about it.
Well, his only responsibility really is to maintain the character that he's been portraying that got him to this status and to this upper echelon on the fucking ladder bullshit that he has to maintain.
I was in the Crucible for a very long time, almost a full-on year. And
I mean, what you said, though, that, you know, this is our faith and this is what we believe. This is, well, you know what? We all choose to believe what we want to believe. Okay, and we choose to act in certain ways. I honor the fuck out of what you were just saying there, 10th man, about the cognitive ability, the cognitive awareness to not completely freak the fuck out, to not be in a state of triggered reaction.
Right.
Because really, that's kind of their whole point is
and
they
already do a response video.
Reaction. Right. But I
did already do a response video to it, but I never said this.
Well, right.
I never said
the whole point is to own
what
other
I'm
people.
saying right now. I've never said what I'm saying right now, which is the power dynamic was so drastic that I was in shock, because I would never attack them on that level to get notoriety or to get it's literally like the Queen saying, "Shut up, peasant." Right. It's weird, right? And that's what I say about all these rich people, is they lose connection with even what their own value structure is in order to protect the horrible things that they do. They need to justify it. So they just put that belief system out, even though that is what they believe, supposedly. They will bastardize that right into oblivion for money and power.
We are what we choose to believe. We are what we tell with ourselves we are, right? Yeah, when I was a kid and I was a freshman in high school, I told myself I was going to smoke pot every day of my life, right? I didn't tell myself I was going to be an asshole fucking Christo-fascist, right? And call out the libs on everything that they fucking do wrong in my worldview. Okay, here's the worldview thing, right? Worldview is an old tactic. Yeah, this is a tactic that goes back pre-Jesus, right? Is getting people to define themselves in a certain specific way to where they never fucking change, right?
But they do, but then they lie.
Yeah, well, they don't really change though, because when you're so focused on your worldview, it's like a fucking horse putting on its own blinders.
Well, so here's my thing: is like I said, I was over at the Crucible for well over a year, and actually, like prior to that exchange between them and 10th man, like I've definitely I stopped hanging out there a whole lot, and I'm not attributing this to Andrew and Rachel by any means. I mean, there's rhetoric that has been said that kind of encouraged the situation that happened. But what ended up happening, the reason why I stopped going over there is because I was told that I was being referred to as the J lover. And it was like, wow. And it was primarily
evil.
And it was primarily because I was talking about, I have friends when everything was going down with Israel and Iran. I said, I have friends in Israel. this is what I heard is happening, because I don't trust the news anymore. I've personally been to Israel. I love it there. And that automatically, along with, a few other very minute things which make no sense, where like I had to be like, you guys know that there's Christian holy sites there, right? Right? If it wasn't for Judaism, you would not. I mean, you guys read the Old Testament too, right? Oh wait, that's right. A lot of Christians don't read the Bible anymore. But yeah, so I found out
I can't quote a red letter verse.
I've been labeled as the J lover over in that community, so I just stopped going over there. I was like, yeah, nah, fuck that. Why would I want to spend my time someplace where I'm going to get that kind of bullshit hate from people?
I can't even. I can stomach going over there once in a while, depending on the topic, and usually on his chill streams, or maybe when he's fucking with people on TikTok or something. But like, for the most part, it's just shillery. It's just, it's the same old shit. You might as well be watching fucking Nick Fuentes or fucking Ben Shapiro or something. I mean,
you're streaming. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is Rusty Rivers not showing up in my chat? And then I just figured it out. Never mind. It's all good.
Salute to Mr. Rivers and his old man, traveling the country, getting shit done.
Yes. So, sure. Fatty, I know that you've been here once before, but I think we were doing drama. I do all different stuff over here, and I am so tired of what you're talking about. The
other day when you were talking about the kid that stole the food, right? The kid that stole the food, right?
That was horrible.
That was a heated little kind of morning there, wasn't it?
Yes.
I almost cried.
It's a fucked up situation. I did a whole nother report and a whole nother deal on food waste, and it's absolutely fucking appalling how much
50% of all produce that goes in mass production in North America, dude, ends up in a landfill, and a large majority of it is perfectly edible. They just throw it away because it's easier. And then it actually turns into, because it gets covered over by stuff and it doesn't get air for the vegetation to actually be able to decompose properly, it actually turns into something similar to oil, but actually they say as or more destructive than oil. It's this black sludge, and then it completely contaminates that the entire area.
Yeah, we've got real bad problems up here. Pacific Northwest is notorious for just open pit landfills and contaminated aquifers, contaminated water supplies. I mean, just think of fast food alone. What was crazy about that whole thing is the night before, I had missed my Wendy's order by like 1 minute, right? I got there at fucking midnight +1. And she's saying, yeah, we're fucking close. I'm like, look. And the other dude's like, hey, yo, I know this guy. And comes over, he's like, you want some nuggets and fries? Like, we got some nuggets and shit like left over. We're just gonna throw them away. Motherfucker, I'm talking like 60 nuggets, bro.
Yep.
And like a whole bag of French fries. And he's like, yeah, dude, we throw this stuff away every night. And then I start looking
every night
after your next stream the next morning, was like 178,000 tons. So like that's so, like, just from fast food alone, right?
Did you just figure this out here recently?
No. I mean, I knew it was a problem, but not as bad as
you should watch the episode of Penn and Teller's Bullshit about that specifically.
That is a good one.
Yep.
It's insane, the amount of food that, and the amount of energy. Like, think of energy as, you can't kill energy, right? So we take this energy from this outside source, we use it to make this food and these products, and we take all this diesel and we use energy to refine the diesel and make the diesel so we can burn the diesel to move this shit that all the energy that goes into food.
It's just adorable.
To throw it in a garbage can and throw it in a dumpster and take it and throw it in a pit. When we have hundreds of millions of people who are literally at one paycheck away from poverty, from absolute homelessness.
Did you see the video there about 3 years ago, I'd say? That came out of Canada, and this is, I've known a fair amount about when they opened up free trade deals to the U.S. and Europe.
NAFTA stuff
and all the different things, the treaties that had to be. So, and like, you can only ship this much, and there's a ratio, and blah, 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 blah. You must accept this much into your country of the other person's products, yada, yada, yada. I know about all that. I know about the grain boards when they got eradicated. Like I know the whole thing. I know too much.
Commodity, right? You can't flood the market with commodity and decrease the value.
No. Well, there's other ways, but I've had conversations with farmers and different things like that, and they are almost always in support of the changes that were made, but only because their stuff is also being shipped to other countries and then end up in landfills there.
Pretty much.
So they don't really care. We're subsidizing it on all sides.
Yep.
And it's great for them but they don't care where the waste goes, right? So, but that's the problem. Sorry, fuck, what was my point? You were talking about something specific.
Subsidies and the treaties and
no, exactly what you were talking about. I went off on a tangent and then I lost the point of what I was trying to say.
Basically that, it's a big scam. And where you were kind of going with that, and where I was going was, it's all a commodity, right? We can't. It's like energy, right? We have all these dams, but they only spin like 3 or 4 out of their generators because we can't flood the market with more energy, or it would become so cheap.
Yeah.
That the corporation wouldn't be able to make money off of doing what they're doing.
Couldn't have that.
Right? When it comes to food, think of like gold and wheat. Right. One is a raw mineral. You have to like put a lot of work into it to get it out of the rock and make it into a bar. The other one is just a thing that you can, in essence, grow. Right. You don't got a lot of work into it, but when you are working, you're working hard, and it takes that effort to get that product into a packageable, usable situation. A third of the farmers in America get paid not to grow.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I remember what I was trying to say. So, about 3 years ago, when milk prices started getting very high in Canada, like I'm talking since 2020, a jug of milk has doubled in price.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was kind of pre stuff.
Yeah. But hold on. Yeah, you go ahead, Beth. I won't forget this time. Good.
No, you're good. Go ahead. All I said was so have eggs.
Yeah, but it's by design. This farmer, and he probably got in trouble because you never heard another thing from him, and then you never saw another person do anything like this again, because they probably started writing into the contracts with the government that doing anything like this will forfeit blah 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 blah. Don't matter if it's legal. Don't matter about none of that. Have fun fighting it in court, because courts are corrupt. So I'm tired of everybody talking about nonsense that they don't understand how it works, right? You've seen probably some of it, Fatty, over here when I'm trying to explain stuff to people, and they just start yapping, and there's no way to talk to them because they just literally make up stuff in their head. So, the guy who was a milk farmer goes, okay, by the way, just so anybody who doesn't know who thinks that food comes from the grocery store, all these cows have to be milked every day. I have 1,800 cows. If you do not milk the cows, they will die.
Yeah.
I got more milk than I'm allowed to produce sometimes. And here goes 1,000 gallons of milk into a drainage ditch now. And he turns on the spigot and it all gets dumped out because the government requires him to destroy it. And it's perfectly viable. All he would have to do is get a tanker, put it out there. They purposely want the milk to be double the price. This is all by design. Inflation is a design. It is not something that is magical. It is not something that just happens because of external circumstances that they have no control over. They specifically write inflation into legislation, rules, contracts, all those things on purpose for these things to waste these resources so that you will have less money, so that all your retirement funds are depleted before you even get to them by design.
Yeah.
This is by design.
Oh yeah, I know.
You're all part of a corrupt system. The religion is part of the corrupt system. The law is part of the corrupt system. People who support such things are doing so because somebody else told them that they should, not because it's in their own best interests. When they come for you, there will be no one left to stand.
Yep.
Oh, I know. When I was trying to get my Social Security because I have a spinal cord injury and my lumbar was broken, and I've had to have multiple surgeries, 4 now so far. It took me years. I fought and fought and fought, and ultimately had to have a judge tell them that no, they denied me wrongfully. Well,
Yep.
They stretched it out so long that
That's what they do.
my work credits had fallen off. So they didn't have to base my amount that I was going to get, including that, my work credits. Okay. Well, they took it a step further. Okay. Because at this point, they owed me something like, oh my God, almost 5 years, where like my children and I, we were destitute. I've gone through a divorce and everything, where literally we were surviving on $75 a week that I was getting in child support. It was horrible. So when they were figuring my back pay, what had happened was during the my mother had
Is this all information you actually want to talk about live?
Oh yeah, I'm happy to say this.
Oh, all right, good.
Okay, so during that whole situation, my mom had she had multiple heart attacks in the past, and her heart failure had gotten a lot worse, and they had given her like maybe 2 months to live, and she spent those 2 months in the hospital. I had to shut down her apartment and all that. Power of attorney was enacted, and she ended up living beyond that, and they put her in a nursing home. Well, of course, the nursing home took all of my mom's Social Security, except for $50 a month, which I used to pay her cell phone so that she could get in touch with me whenever she wanted to. When they were figuring my back pay, they went and because I was the power of attorney for my mom and my name had gone on my mom's bank account, they took the balance of my mom's bank account on the 3rd of every month, which was the day her Social Security came in, and considered it to be my money because the nursing home didn't take their money until the 15th of every month. And they took away over $50,000 of my back pay. And by that point, the lawyer who had represented me, well, he didn't make as much as he expected to make, and he was all done with me. He had washed his hands of me and said, he said, try and talk to the nursing home. Well, when my mom died, the nursing home had tried to sue me for $99,000. So they didn't have anything either, because at this point it had been a couple of years. You know, they were pissed off that their lawyer said, this woman has nothing, we can't sue her. And so yeah, I lost over $50,000. Thank you, Uncle Sam. That was real awesome.
Thank you, capitalism, though, really, because
and you relate. So just one real quick. You relate to the story that I'm sure you've heard me tell more than once about my grandfather, then how he paid into the system and then got nothing. He was actually penalized.
Yeah.
For having a company pension, because they take the money out of your government pensions that you get from your work pension, right?
Yeah.
So it's the weirdest thing ever. It's like, hold on a second here. So I have a private pension, so you take money out of my government pension. Aren't I still entitled to that the same as I would be as if I didn't have a government private pension? And it's like, no, because the scam works against you no matter what. the house always wins.
Yeah, the nursing home even took my mom's her quote unquote burial fund that she had paid in, that she was entitled to because she worked in healthcare. So she was automatically granted as part of her work benefits the money in order to pay for her cremation, burial costs, that thing. They took all of that. So I got left holding the bag even on her cremation. It was awesome.
I hate to say it, but that's just kind of typical America, because we're the only country that really monetizes life and monetizes death and monetizes all things to do with.
Oh, stop it! It's way worse in Canada.
Death, death in
but
the U.S. is the most, is the biggest cash cow.
Sure.
I mean, Adam ruins everything.
Supposedly has free healthcare, but I mean, I'd say America's worse, dude. I would say that for sure.
Yeah, free healthcare means absolutely nothing.
Free, right? Yeah.
Free. No, but guess how good it is if it's free.
Right.
Yeah, it covers absolutely nothing.
Right? I don't even.
Only because it's trying to compete with a system that is fully heavily monetized. Right. When you have stockholders, right?
Yeah.
And you promise
you don't have stockholders here, but
right.
Yeah.
It's a fucking scam.
If you didn't have a tie between the government and the corporation at all, then it would be different. But when you do, then it's not different. So then you like, I'm not saying, oh, because America also has socialized medicine. The same, like it's different. Yeah. It's different a little bit than Canada is.
Yeah.
But in all reality, you guys still have a socialist society.
And in reality, like, Canada doesn't allow their elected officials to be invested in companies that they might legislate for or against.
Wrong.
Oh,
you would think. No, hold on. You would think that they don't, but they do, because none of those people have ever been penalized for any of the things they've done. I've watched it. I've played it on my show over the past 6 years. Every time it's an ethics violation. An ethics violation is nothing. You don't even get a fine.
Right. Slap on the wrist.
You go on to another government position.
Yeah.
You get a whole new pension. A large majority of these people leave their tenure in office. Like, let's say Joe Biden, for instance, right? How many different pensions do you think he has from all the different government positions that he's had over time? How much do you think he's pulling in for all pensions combined, let alone his own private investments?
Well, and the fact that the president gets automatic, rest of the life treatment anyway. So,
right.
Yeah.
So how much is he costing per year? And did he actually do anything good the entire time that he was in government?
Yeah, he did a ton of shit good. Yeah, he did a ton of shit good.
He did what?
He did a ton of shit good.
Name one thing.
How about the Chips and Science Act?
You mean when he tried to bring like chip factories to America?
The act that Trump is exploiting right now to gain 10% ownership of Intel.
Yep. So
that was a good thing. Yeah, bringing chip manufacturing back to America. So a company like Nvidia, could become the biggest and best producer of the best fucking chips in the world.
Yep.
It's a good thing. Yeah, that's definitely a good thing.
They're already almost there.
Good about Trump too. I think Trump did some good things. I think a lot of what he did in his first term was absolutely horrific.
Guys, I do got to drop. I need to go cook dinner and get my chickens put away.
I was waiting to see if due diligence was coming back or not, because I wanted to fight with him about racism. Yeah, I know. I probably had to kick Patty off for the racism debate.
Oh,
I'll jump you.
Bye, Ashton. Good to see you.
Check out this other. Here's the link for that food deal too, right there for you. Yeah, it's a good chat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming up. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. And it's
good
a pleasure to
conversation
meet
you guys
as
had
well.
earlier. Really nice seeing a respectful conversation about the Lord and all that stuff.
Yes, it's nice.
I will concede. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I'm good. Bye.
No, you're fine.
Later.
Respect and love, dear. I will concede, Fatty, that that they all do good. But do you think that over the 45 or 50 years of Biden's political career, that he did more good than bad?
I would absolutely say that. Yes.
Really?
100%. I mean, these are and that's based off of real life things that can be proven, not just my opinions of him being a good or a bad guy. Do I think he was a freaky hair sniffer? Yeah, I do. Is that as bad as being a fucking philanderer and fucking wanting to fuck your daughter and shit? No, it's not comparable. And comparing him to Trump is an absolute fallacy.
I disagree, but
there's no equality there. You got a convicted fucking rapist and a convicted fucking business felon.
That's not true. That's not true.
What's not?
He did.
That he was convicted of rape. Oh, right, right. Because it was a sexual assault and not a rape. But the judge did say straight up, in his sentencing, that even though we're not going to give you any smack on the hand, right?
But it was a civil case, right?
Yeah.
From 35 years prior? They had to change the law to be able to make it go through. The law wasn't
changed just to prosecute him. The law was changed to include, right, to get rid of the statute of limitations for females that were sexually assaulted.
And you think that that's okay?
He's got. Oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think that women in a heated moment like that have a tendency not to report. And I think that later on in life.
So before we move on to that discussion, I want to establish a baseline. Do you think that all government representatives have done more good than bad, or just Biden?
I think the majority, I would say the majority of them are pretty much crooked as fuck and don't give a fuck about any of that and have done more bad. And especially the lifelong politicians, right? When you become a lifelong politician, you cease to exist in the realm of public servant.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And Democrats and Republicans alike, libertarians, anybody that wants to be in the system, you're looking for who's backing you with the money. And the money, I think Citizens United is the worst thing that ever happened to capitalism and America in general, when you're allowed to have corporations dump massive amounts of money into their ideological shit, right? Because that's when you end up with Christofascism taking over the fucking world.
Yeah, no, I got you.
It sucks, but it's the game we play. George Carlin said it best, straight up. This is one big fucking party. This is one big game, and we, the citizens, are not invited.
Well, that's because the citizens don't deserve to be invited because they're stupid.
I love the poorly educated.
But this is that I've seen enough of what Biden has done and said that I think that he's just as bad as all of the rest of them. So we'd have to agree to differ there.
I mean, he did leave office with the best economy that America had ever had, with the highest stock market and the lowest unemployment rate ever. Right.
But he also sold off 30% of America's petroleum reserves at the same time, while capping energy production.
So capping energy production means that when he left office, that we weren't producing more oil than ever. We weren't drilling and producing more than ever, because we were.
Don't think so.
Oh yeah, we were absolutely producing more than our capacity would even necessarily allow us to store, right? And that's where OPEC comes in, right? Because we don't refine our own oil.
What I was understanding,
it's all a worldwide scam.
That's a problem too. Yes, of course. Yes,
when I used to live beside.
I grew up beside an oil refinery.
Yeah, it's a big scam, and
like I grew up literally beside an oil refinery. I watched the smokestack that it was the burn off stack outside my window as a child.
You got a little bit of that lead poisoning, don't you?
Oh, I'm sure I got a lot of stuff. I'm sure I have. I mean, I'm telling you, that smokestack was less than a quarter of a mile from my window.
Fucking A, man.
That place don't even exist no more.
You get that black silt when it rains and shit.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. That stuff's really good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes into the Industrial Revolution, right? That's why we see the decline of our industry, is because we realize that it's polluting us, and we'd rather ship it off sea, overseas to allow them to pollute themselves for the resources.
Which is stupid, because why wouldn't you just move it outside of town?
Because towns just keep getting bigger, and either way, you're just polluting the water
far enough away.
There, so I live in the biggest Superfund project that America's ever done. It's all silver mines and silver mines up here, right? And they would take the ore back in the day and just put it in a big pile and burn it, and crack the rock and get it to do its thing. And all that silt fell down throughout these valleys up here, and they spent like the mid '80s up in. It's still the biggest Superfund in the world ever, right? They gave everybody in these valleys now over here 3 feet of new soil throughout their whole entire yards. And they're still hauling soil from the prairie over here across the pass and using big machines to spread it out in the woods and shit, and try to cover up, like, our rivers and our lakes are just, they've got these layers of silt that are just full of lead and just nasty shit. And like, you can't even eat the fish out of most of the lakes up here. It's.
Yeah, but there's ways you could go. There's ways you can do it where it wouldn't be that bad.
There is. And, it's just like, what are we as
profitable
going to put up with? And like you said before, the fear and the anger, right? It's really good to, it's the easiest thing to provoke is the anger and the fear especially. We don't vote for what we want. We haven't voted for what we want for probably since the mid 1800s. We vote against what scares us most, right? And the candidate that has the best rhetoric of they're going to do this to you, typically is the one that wins, right? The better fear game. They, them, and the others, the xenophobia, right? The they, them, and the others don't really fucking exist, right? But they're right over there. They're not in your town, but they're coming to your town. Nobody ever sees they, them, and the others, right? We're all scared of these fucking immigrants. We're all scared of this. It's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's all part of the game.
Yeah, well, see, I understand what you're saying, but when the rules are set a certain way in the video game of life, you have no choice. Like myself, I've been apt to say, and I'm sure you've heard me say it before, and I'll try to sum it up quickly, is that because Canada has such a low population, if you bring in 1 million people from another country, say for instance, people of Muslim descent that believe that being gay is even more evil than Andrew does. And in 30 or 40 years, I'm 70, 80 years old, and all of a sudden, there's 70 million Muslims and 35 million Canadians. And they decide, okay, time to load you onto a train and toss you into a fire pit. There's not a whole lot I can do now, because I allowed that slow trickle of tyranny to go unchecked. And then also, Fatty, the other day I heard somebody say, and I've actually been apt recently to not even respond to people.
Good choice.
Because they don't deserve my time. And I've always been like this, but I'm way more like snooty now than I ever have been in the past.
A little bit.
And well, I have no choice. But somebody said, oh, blah, 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 blah. You're just talking on the internet. You're not actually ever going to make a difference. Blah, 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 blah. And I will say, and I said this the other day to somebody, I don't even know if I was live, but you just said somebody you heard somebody else say. And I'm not going to spend my time telling you why you're wrong, because I'm not sure if you're smart enough to understand it. So I've had numerous people, some of them publicly, recently, come and say, you changed my mind about things, or I like that you speak out about this because nobody else does, things like that. Privately and publicly, they've done it. And I'm just sitting here going, for instance, Tarek. Now, I don't know if he's full of shit. I don't know for sure, but he is arguing my point. So even if he's my adversary, but he's arguing for my side of it, maybe he doesn't have a stance either way. But if he's arguing for my side of it, I see him as rather than an adversary, a accomplice, or whatever you want to call it. So if that's the case, and I had a vicious, heated debate with that very specific person on the opposite position of myself, and then he comes, like, it was the weirdest thing. I got sent a link, and I showed up on his panel, and he's arguing my words to this panel, and I go, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I've asked him since then, did you change your opinion about this because of me? And he's like, not just you, but yes, I took all the things that you said, and what I did was I've started to argue with these people on the behalf of, I'm a homophobe and I want to create a genocide of gays. And this is my position, and it's the exact same position as the trans position. And I'm like, by Jove, I think you've got it.
Life's all about perspective, right? When we get stuck in that perspective, it's real hard.
He was on the opposite side.
Right.
And I don't know what the truth is.
Great conversation a couple nights ago. Yeah.
Who?
You and Teriak, when he came on.
Oh, you were watching?
No, that was the other morning after that was the morning when you guys were talking about the food stuff that he came up.
I didn't know you watched it.
Yeah. Yeah. He came up. Yeah. That was a good conversation. And for what
I don't know.
I don't know
if he's being honest.
I think I do. I think he's, he's
if so,
he's gone through
but I'm not
like that, which are very cool to see, because like I'm saying, when we're giving each other perspective, right, it's typical to go into denial, fight or flight, and instantly fight, of course, because we're online. We've got to maintain our status, our fucking what's the shit you're always looking for from
clout?
From Flow Show? The clout. Got to maintain the clout. Fuck that clout level. Tell you what.
It's all about the clue.
Or the clue. But he's a great example of a guy who may still argue, his point or whatever he's in at the time, but at a later point will be able to say, "Yeah, I've changed my mind."
Wrong.
And
I was wrong.
My worldview has gotten wider now, right? Because I'm not locking my fucking blinders in. I'm allowing some perspective, right? And that's
and that was the saddest thing.
Planting the seed, right? And when we plant the seed in somebody else, not that kind of seed. You know what I'm saying?
That was the saddest thing, because I approached Andrew all of the times that I did to try to do the same thing to him as I did to Tarek. Right?
Yeah, that's a lost cause. Yeah.
I know, I understand, but I'm trying to do what your guys' Jesus would do.
Right.
He's not my Jesus. I don't believe in the same thing you guys do. But it doesn't mean I disagree with a lot of the things that...
I really don't. I'm more of a Pastafarian than I am anything else anymore.
I don't know what all the ins and ists are. I don't...
Oh, yeah, no, it's still the Christians, they got their 10 Commandments, right? Why do we need Satan? Yes. Here's a great thing. Why do we need the devil, right? For balance, right? Checks and balances. We need balance, right? When one thing is too much, it needs to be balanced, right? One side or the other. To me, why we still need the devil, why we need the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple, is to keep the 10 Commandments out of public schools.
Okay.
So we're not just, sycophantically programming our children that there's only one way to view the world, because we're too scared within ourselves to be able to tell our kids that other people get to live a different way, because that's just bigotry, right? Bigotry is not being able to accept other people. That's all it is. It's real easy, right? Racism is totally different, right? Going in, culture war shit is totally different than just straight bigotry. Bigotry is just it's the natural instinct that we have of tribalism.
Right.
And when we look at each other and we say, okay, we label them instantly, that's a person of this, whatever they are. I mean, I still get a little bit freaked out when I see gay skaters, like skater dudes, like making out at the skate park. It kind of like, but then I
would never have seen that. Yeah.
So like,
I never seen that.
And but that's just my programming.
Right.
Because once I realized that, hey, that's pretty badass that they're in love. They can display emotion in public, and like the notion I brought up a couple of weeks with you, and you really understood was, when my feelings are hurt because of what you're doing, when I get all butthurt because of something that somebody else is doing, it's not for me to call them out and say, you need to change your fucking actions so that I can feel good about things.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to get out of your feelings, because no, it's fucking hypocrisy at its finest.
I really don't understand what you're trying to say.
Like, when I get butthurt for you being a fantastically beautiful fat black woman,
mm-hmm.
that's my problem. It's not for me to say, you need to change your actions so that I can feel good about the world.
I just don't get the parallel with the
when Christians come to the table and say only this way is the way, right? It's a logical fallacy. Right. It's an argumentative fallacy at that. There's no moving forward. There's no budging that person from their standpoint, and that point right there. When you come to the table and can't accept another person's opinion, let alone another person's like set of facts or any type of argument that they want to make based on empirical evidence,
mm-hmm.
right? Which is where this whole debate thing gets completely misstrewn online, is that we're not coming to these debate tables online with evidence and saying, hey, look, here's what history has proven, and here's the trends, and here's the things. Most people are coming in with, I believe this, and I think this, and I feel this, and telling each other to get out of their feelings when they're saying, well, I feel that it's this way, and I feel that it's this way. Well, great for you for feeling that way, but other people are allowed to feel the way they want to feel.
Yeah, so
the way they want to think, right? So,
because I had this discussion with Vibe the other day. I think Tarek pretty much agreed for the most part. He's got a few things that I'm not really down with, but for the most part, you know what I mean? Like, so, but and this is nothing, I'm not giving anybody my information that I'm going to bring to the show where I'm supposed to be a guest star. That gets to be secret.
What's going on now? You guys got a debate panel going for debating?
I'll explain momentarily, but just let me explain my religious theory before, and then remind me about the uncomfortable Bible study, and then I'll make you aware. So I had a discussion the other day and it wasn't a fully formed idea, because I really don't like to push my theories on people too much, because they get really crazy sometimes, like kind of like what Beth has been experiencing. And so the way I look at it is this. I think that the Bible and all religious texts have all been bastardized from something that came from before, that the few had access to, and that's how things turned out the way they did, and that there may be bits and pieces of the original stuff in there, but that it's kind of the bits and pieces that are in there get in there because it was overlooked and it didn't go along with masses rules, but it kind of slipped through the cracks. And that's the stuff that we get to see, is a bunch of bastardized nonsense with a couple tiny little grains of truth. And then, and this is some new things that I've kind of adapted to what I said the other day, is one of them is the Tower of Babel. I believe that it was presented to the kings and things like that in a deceptive way to allow it into religious texts and things like it, because that's actually what we're experiencing. And I don't know all the numbers, like all the epistemological smarty pantses with the clicks and the views and the, I don't care about that.
And either way, that's just their interpretation of that information.
Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say is, I believe that the majority of these people are actually following the devil's words.
100%.
These people are actually Satanists, and they don't even know it.
There's,
right?
So there's a website, Quora,
and
that dives
this
deep
is by design. No, I've seen stuff about this, but I'm saying this is all by design because I lost it. I had a new thing that I was going to add. I think I already said it.
The reversal,
but so
the roles, yeah,
it's just a weird thing because of what I see, and then these people are all acting like completely Luciferian, and antithetical to supposedly what Jesus said, right? And then can't even see it, and it's like it's like an MK Ultra brain virus, where like that McLovin situation, for instance, right? My interview with Not Now Maybe Later last night should have been the definitive. That should have been definitive, right? Like there shouldn't have been any more discussion. He should be ostracized automatically because of his past actions. And I get it, he might only have half a brain, but he's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
And that people will now not take that as a cautionary tale and still go on with their lives for clicks and views or whatever, right? Okay, so like I already said, later on, 3 months or 6 months from now, when I go back to this and say, you're responsible for this because you knew, people don't get to cry.
Yeah.
But they do.
They will.
Right?
Yeah, they will.
They'll rationalize, they'll dance around, they'll do everything they possibly can.
Deflect and redirect.
Skirt responsibility.
What aboutism?
Still say it's my fault somehow.
Yeah. Well, you can't just walk into a lion's den and poke a lion in the eye and not expect him to but it is that perspective that the lion will look at later and say, hey, I did kind of freak out in that situation, and that guy actually did have a good point. Not that I'm going to change my actions because, number one rule is we don't ever admit fault. We always show strength, right? We have to show strength at all costs. We don't show weakness. We don't ever admit that we're wrong, right? We double down, triple down, quadruple down on things.
Oh,
it's narcissism 101.
That's so boring.
Right? When really we have narcissistic leaders, people tend to follow that lead, right?
Yep. They think that's how you act. Yep.
And we've got a guy in, the highest office in the land who is now adorning it with gold leaf and building himself a fucking gold ballroom.
Yeah.
Who has never admitted fault in his whole life. He's never shown weakness, right? He's never admitted to being wrong, ever.
You know what I can't handle? When people love Trump.
Since when did we start loving our politicians?
Well, it's just you see them on these panels, right? And they're like, Trump forever. And I'm like,
what you were getting into there was hypno programming, right? We're not responsible for the programming we receive as children, but as adults, we're responsible to understand that programming, right? Accept it for what it was worth, right? And change what needs to be according to how we think the world should be, right? When we're so involved in the programming that just the word, Democrats are the same fucking way. You say the word Biden and they're in instant defense mode. That's a cult. That is cult of personality is what that is. That's
it was weird. I was expecting because when
Yeah.
I was testing you kind of, and I was like, name one thing that Biden's done, because I'm trying to see how crazy are you, because I've seen you act crazy, but we all act crazy when people are being assholes.
I like playing the crazy role once in a while, but that's the thing, is we got to understand what role we're playing when we're playing it. Most people don't understand that there's even roles being played.
Oh, there's always a role being played.
There's always a role, right? And when we're at least cognitively aware enough to understand how we affect each and everything around us, and everything around us affects us, that's not internet shit. That's not internet debate shit for sure. Like it's a different mindset. It's fucking dopamine and serotonin addiction is what it is. All this shit. Everything we do is an addiction in one way or another. Our routines that we set. Try brushing your teeth with the opposite hand, right? Your brain tells you, right, this is a different brain chemical acting now.
Yep.
Your brain tells you this is not right? This is not the right way to do things. When we get those chemicals flowing through us, fuck, man. I'm not saying I'm not triggerable, but I try to remain at least cognitively aware enough to understand when those trigger points are happening and whether or not I want to play into that and how hard I want to play into it. A lot of times.
Okay, so now let's pause there.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about that. I want to talk to you about the Trump charges about the grape thing, right? Mm-hmm. So this is my problem with that. And I don't want to get into the conversation about me. I'm just trying to give you where I'm coming from.
Sure.
All right. So, and I know a lot of other people that are in the same situation as well. Matter of fact, live yesterday near the end of my show or something like that, I showed some people about the stuff of the city where I'm from and terrible crimes that were done to children, where the government was found responsible for some of it and probably was of all of it. And then also a guy that got out of jail after 40 years after they falsely convicted him, and 200 and something kids with the one I mentioned just a minute ago, with the one that he was the cop, and blah, 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 and 270 something kids or some nonsense and all this stuff. And I had stuff happen to me when I was a kid. When I went to the police, they pretty much made fun of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
When I can't get any type of action on stuff that happened to me, when the actual law has always been that those crimes are still punishable, and it wasn't 35 years after the fact for me, I can tell you that much, right?
It could be
that would be used against Trump after 35 years, and then they change a law for it. Kind of gives me the indication that something is amiss.
But you've mentioned that before. What law was changed specifically?
I don't remember exactly. I just know I've seen it,
it was
put up on a screen.
Yeah, it's something about a talking point. Is what it
limitations.
Is. Yeah, it was changed. A year and a half before, and not just to prosecute him. It was because victims don't speak out in the time, right? So, not only that, but okay. So he's got one. I'll concede to this. Okay, he's got one false conviction. Yep. Okay, from Eugene, who over the past whatever,
and just got another false conviction with the Letitia James thing for $500 million. Yep.
How many other accusations are against him? How many non-disclosures do we know actually exist? Right, for this situation. Right, there's 5 that include minors. Right. There's
with Trump
17 that include regular, normal, fucking everyday adult people, male and female.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I think they're all monsters.
I do too.
The question is Trump full monster? When
you have a monster telling you that the other side is a monster, so that they can normalize their monsterisms,
but they both do,
which they both do. But you gotta. I mean, we gotta weigh this shit out. Dumbass Biden having some papers in his fucking garage with his Corvette. Good example. He shouldn't have done that.
Same thing Trump did.
Same thing Trump did. Did he intentionally take those things there and after 2.5 years of being told to give the shit back, not give it back?
No, they had gone in.
And then
they had gone in and didn't take it. They could have took it.
Storage room from his pool, right? To try to flood the storage room while the good shit was left up in the fucking bathroom, right? That was accessible by normal fucking everyday people, right? He's bragged about giving fucking documents away, right? He's bragged about trading fucking shit.
That's not true.
Oh,
I listened to the recording.
Absolutely.
No, I listened to the recording. There was no evidence in that recording that he gave anything to anybody.
Okay, and you can choose to believe that. That's totally fine.
Oh, I understand. I know. I understand. I understand. Like, I get it. I don't. Yeah.
When we have
beyond a reasonable doubt,
scale, right? We have to put it on the scale, and it has to. It's not even fucking equal. It's not even close to equal. The amount of shit that this guy. I mean, here's the deal. If you can't say something bad about anybody, right? That person is your cult leader, right? And that's where we got into the point where this man has told us through hypno programming, right? Which is straight up like, tell somebody something 3 times and they'll hear you. This is a routine that he goes through in every speech he's ever made. He always emphasizes every point 3 times. He has to loop back over it and loop back over it. That's the way he was trained by his dad's lawyer growing up.
That's old people. For old people, yeah, I know. I get it.
And through those narcissistic tendencies, which we all have, right?
Yep.
Very, very few people ever become a true narcissist, a real narcissist that has like full on sycophantal fucking codependent enablers behind him or her for whatever matter, right? Cleopatra, great fucking example of a narcissist.
Well, we don't know because we don't know her.
You're so good at manipulating and telling people who you are that they automatically just believe you. That's a cult. That's narcissism 101. That you tell somebody 3 times and they believe you, right? You tell them 30 times and they actually like hear you and absorb you. You tell them 300 times they'll fight for you. You tell them 3,000 times they'll fucking die for you.
Okay, I gotta ask a question then, because I gotta know. I gotta know. Do I like you or not? Right. So, are you willing to join my cult? But all I do is lightly troll people to get in their heads, and I'll try not to make anybody go ballistic ever again. But would you join my cult of nicknaming people who act weird to try to make them stop, to break their programming, like how I've named Paul Enslaved Script Boy? Right? Because listen, did you hear my rundown of how that came about yet?
Just a little bit. I haven't been really online.
So that's what happened. I didn't think about it till the next day because I used to give people names, and but I'm trying not to hurt people with it now. I'm just, because in all honesty, it was really weird after I've been calling him Script Boy, and he probably got wind of it, and he apologized to Chuck.
No shit.
And I'm like, is he listening? Like is he actually understanding that I'm just a journalist who sometimes reports on drama, right? I don't care about you. Right? And when I told him, and he's going on and on and on, time, energy, attention, 10th man, you want clicks and views, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't even do shows. I'm the joke guy.
High, bro. The optics are high, bro.
Right? It's like, I'm the joke guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't done a show regularly for years, right? And then I said, I'm a non-binary, transgender, transracial, paleo-vegan ghost that's a Black, Irish, Jewish, lesbian. I'm also a wolf every second Tuesday and a witch.
Nice.
And he goes, that's stupid. And I said, yeah, everybody fucking knows it's stupid. And what you're saying is just as fucking stupid. And that's why he's Script Boy. Because I can't. Did you ever see my clip that I'm going to make here soon? I'm probably going to take a few days off and try to do some like computer, like my clips are echoey, and I just didn't. I'm just getting back into this, right? So, but I found the old clip that I was talking about of the snake oil salesman, and the people are walking up with the crutches, and then they drink the snake oil, and then they can do like gymnastics.
Nice.
You ever see that?
I haven't. I have not seen the clip that you have not produced yet.
No. I showed it on the show the other day. 1 second here, just 1 second. No. I showed it twice. That's why I mean I don't know when you're in the chat and when you're not type thing. So just 1 second.
Kenny Copeland deal, like with all them guys, or
no, it's like an old black and white movie type thing.
Nice.
Here, 1 second here.
No,
Australia. Why'd you put Australia?
Absolutely like to. I would pursue some co-branding with you and your cult. Because I'm
just for like my own mild trolling.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt nobody because I think I might have partially been responsible for some bad things.
Yeah. You know, but
when you go away and you look back, when you look back over 6 years and then people are like, oh yeah, by the way, that person's no longer with us. That person's no longer with us. That person's and I'm going, how much of this is my responsibility?
Oh shit, it's 420, bro. Fucking 420, bro. Oh,
I've been smoking the whole time. I will smoke right now because I'm going to show you a funny clip too.
Nice.
And watch this. Yeah. This is Paul. All right. And I can't do it because I knew about this stuff since I was a little boy, as tall as most people's knee. And I would ask, like, why are those people so stupid, Grandma? Well, no one ever taught them right from wrong or what reality is. So, you know, and these people are actually really bad people for doing this because they're tricking people that are in a bad place. And I would have these conversations as a small child and they would explain this stuff to me, but I don't think anybody explained this stuff to anybody because people are so stupid nowadays that they don't teach their children anything. So they don't watch TV with their children. They don't even have a clue what they're even watching or know what's going on. But I had these conversations. So this right here, I knew about this 40 years ago or whenever this came out, right? So watch.
Wow. I took up with a swindler, name of Allardyce T. Merriweather. After Miss Pendrake, his honesty was downright refreshing. Merriweather was one of the smartest men I ever knowed, but he tended to lose parts of himself. When I joined him, his left hand and his left ear were already gone.
You might be able to see a miracle, one I have witnessed many times before. The power of this elixir has been proven to reverse and so with the Lord's blessing, I offer
It'll cure your sore. During my years with Merriweather, he lost an eye as a result of a fifth ace dropping out of his sleeve in a poker game. It didn't faze him, though. Deception was his life's blood, even if it caused him to get whittled down kind of gradual like.
Is that from like Young Guns or something? Like what?
Oh Jesus, what is it?
I recognize it.
From Little Big Man.
There you go. Damn. Good shit.
Now I have no idea what that is. I've never IMDb'd it, but I saw that movie a long time ago, and I remembered it. And as soon as I saw Paul, I said, "Oh my God, that's from the movie."
I mean,
so this was,
this
is Little Big Man from 1970, a few years before I was born.
Nice.
And I believe it's out of Australia or something. And I just IMDb'd it here, right? So,
nice. Down under,
and you could tell. I don't know for sure. I that's what it said in the description or something of the video. But the point is, the guy that was doing the voiceover was also stupid.
Not dumb, but stupid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was stupid.
Right.
Because if you were listening to the voiceover, he goes, he was the smartest man I ever knew. He had already lost his hand and his ear, and it was obvious makeup over his ear.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that he was holding the hook in his hand. He wasn't actually missing his hand. Right?
Well, it's like, you create the problem, right? So you can be the arbiter of the solution, right? And then you have people within your ranks play out the person with the problem, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like all the Democratic protesters that get paid to go out and be like paid protesters, right?
Yes.
Right.
And the same thing on the right as well.
Yeah. Because,
Exactly the same thing.
I mean, not to bring politics back into it, but yeah, no, it's a big show is all it is. Yeah.
So my cult's name is the Cult of Personality, just FYI.
I think that's taken already. Could be copyrighted even.
Too bad.
Mm-hmm. Living color, bro.
Yeah, but that's not a real thing. That's just referred to. I'm making it a real thing. I'm changing it.
Nice.
So
well,
within copyright.
I would say that the Cult of Fatness will definitely join ranks for sure.
And we can make fun of all the ugly people.
I mean, I think there's no better way to get people to change than to mock them.
But I agree. I can't remember what panel I was on just a couple days ago, and I'm like, bullying is a good thing.
In certain situations, yes.
Yes.
Everything is in certain situations. And to a certain point, right? But what we're not good at is, as people in general, is defining where that boundary is and what the expectation is, right?
Right.
It's fucking.
So my buddy Danny sent me this,
and to express ourselves as far as like, definitely, we're programmed to be wishy-washy, and not define the fucking boundaries. That's the whole problem. Is when it goes to like the managing of expectations, we're not lowering our expectations, we're managing them. We have to define them before we can manage them. We don't ever do that. We don't ever go into situations, especially like relationships, and say, hey, this is what I expect. This is what we're going to do. This is how the relationship's going to be. This is where I'm comfortable, and really define things, so that's why friends walk all over each other. That's why feelings get hurt and boundaries get crossed. And when we can't recognize the boundary and we cross that boundary before we even know that it was a boundary, and then now we're already in trouble. So now,
I give people way too many chances. You can trespass against me a million times, and I would just walk away a million times, right? Sure. And then I'll come back, and I'll go away, and I'll come back, and I'll go away. But then eventually,
you have a tendency to kind of tear people's heads off too, though. So,
but I will. No. Well, I know that
a little bit.
Not recently.
Well, no, but as an old pattern, there was.
No, because I was usually the joke guy.
Right. But when you got crossed and when it was time to go, it was 100% go.
Yeah, but Glenn and I had a discussion. So did Dusty and I. I was taking a lot of because I was the joke guy for a long time, and I really didn't flip out that much at all. But then I started doing shows.
I was just thinking about this.
I know. That's why I did it. I'm in your head. Because I actually brought this up to somebody the other day. But when I started doing shows again, I went back and watched some old shows because I wanted people to just see some of the weird stuff that I had to deal with. And it started bringing back a lot of old memories. And then other people started contacting me about people that I used to know. And it's a whole bunch of stuff that I want no part in. Crazy people showing up at people's houses and stuff. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty.
So I want no part of somebody being unalived or something like that. So I walked away.
How did that make you feel?
Now we're going to move on to this. What? People showing up at people's houses?
When you walked away?
Well, see,
more so when you walked away. Like, what were the name 3 feelings that you were feeling at the, at that particular moment, not moment in time, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I felt guilty, like throughout the time, like, because I also felt a tremendous amount of loss, and I still do sometimes, because I long for the good times, but the good times can't last forever. And that's just the way it is.
Fucking A.
Get it?
There will be balance. Yeah, there will be balance, and there has to be.
And that's it. Yeah. So that I don't look back at any of it as bad, but there are certain people that I don't want to be in contact with. So I did grieve. Yep. So there's the second one, grieving. So what was it? What was it? I forget the first one. It's grieving. I think I said angry, but if I did, and also regretful. Right? Because I always feel that I could have done better, because I think I can control everything with my witch magic.
Yep.
And that if I had to just move the pieces a little bit different during the time, maybe things could have been a bit different. And I made some mistakes that I know I made, but also a lot of it was out of my control. And could I have actually made any difference whatsoever? And is there a such thing as predestiny or not? And blah, 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 blah for 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. And then all that came back there about a month. Well, Flo said they saw a change over time. Right. And then it got real bad. And it's because the more I did, and I was carrying that anger, and Flo was saying, "Oh, I think this must be from your childhood." And then when he got mad at me and yelled at me on Glenn's, and then I took a day or two to think, and I'm like, he's completely right, not from the source he's thinking of, but yes, I am definitely taking anger that was from other people that none of these people even know, barely, onto them. And I'm like, nah, that's stupid. I was being stupid. I apologize.
Yeah. Did you apologize to yourself though?
No. I'll beat myself up for the rest of my life about it.
Right?
No.
I'm the same way. I
never will.
A thing there, but
because I think I'm better than that. I should have been better. I should have known better.
Because your expectations of yourself are higher than what you are.
Because I went through these emotions, right? Somebody made fun of me the other day because I said, yeah, when I know all the different, I was like, you don't know what these different emotion words are? And they're like, no. And I'm like, didn't you ever do the emotion chart? And they're like, what institution were you in? And I'm like, none really. But I did have people when I was a kid say, okay, these are going to be the problems that you have with your personality type. And if you just go around using only specific words like angry, see here, all the easy ones, enraged, frustrated, all the easy ones, right?
You can take all the bad ones and put them into bad. And that's what most people in America use for any type of that conversation is it's either good or bad. And there's no.
And so if you use those words, right, but this isn't the full one. This was just a.
That's kind of the negative ones for the most part, or not the negative ones, but the everyday ones that everybody feels.
Satisfied, stubborn. Stubborn. That shouldn't even be there. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you can feel stubborn.
There's a few kind of positive ones in there, right? And happy's in there. But that's the thing is we're in America. We are not. There's nothing in us. There's nothing in our society that makes us deal with this type of stuff unless we get busted and go to rehab.
Right. See, but then I also went through like personal discovery, right? And so I went, do I feel guilty? Nope. Fuck them bitches. And then, do I feel lonely? Fuck no. The nonsense that I had to deal with, the gain that I got in self-worth and all those things, like just time, and made me say, oh goodness, like, you know, sometimes I miss talking to certain people, you know, stuff like that. But in all seriousness, I'd rather feel a tiny bit of this than feel any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a little bit of loneliness because I do have a husband. It's not like the people on here is the only people I can talk to, right? I'll go hang out with my husband, whatever, right?
Yep.
Like sometimes I will just go sit on the couch while my husband plays video games with his sisters, right? And I'll call them the C word or whatever, you know, we'll be joking around because, you know, the PlayStation controllers have a speaker on them instead of having headphones all the time.
Yeah.
And so I can talk to them. I get you. But it's like a phone now, right? So you can just talk. So I walk into the room and I'll be like, who you on there with? Oh, okay. Well, tell them that they're stupid because of the things that you told me about them earlier.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying? So
poke in the eye.
I can always, and in all seriousness, you know, we were talking about clout ratings the other day and how if you donate or if you contribute to the show in certain ways and stuff, there's like an evaluation of worth.
I wish I would have.
And that's how.
Yeah, that's it's a good conversation to have.
So, right, but it's true. And it's always going to be the case, right? There will never be a time when that's not the case.
That's just
everyone has a role.
Humanity. That's all it is.
Right. And so I say to go along with that as well, there is an equation with these different emotions as well. Right? It's because 1 minute of miserable is worth 1,000,000 minutes of lonely.
Lonely and alone are two different things.
I would rather feel lonely all the time than to ever feel miserable.
Yeah. and being one doesn't mean that it equals the other.
No, I get you. No, for sure.
And that's where just using general terms, like only being able to understand these terms in good or bad is so detrimental to life, because you can't really understand what's going on with yourself when your labels are so tight and thin. That this is a very delicate subject too. This is something that society sees as kind of weak, self-help.
You brought it up, so I figured, hey, why not?
Self-help's kind of one, you can't show weakness, bro. Be strong and you be tough.
The other day,
do it, right?
The other day, I don't remember where I was, and I don't remember who said it. People get real sad over the things I say sometimes.
Sad.
But, well, they do. So a lot of times, because people are like, I attribute these things to your actions, right? And I'm like, no. I'm glad you think I'm a simple beast, but not all the time.
For a year and a half, people thought that I was married to a pair of dogs.
Well, why not?
Some of them probably still do.
Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
I shouldn't be smoking when I'm having this conversation. I was talking about, you mentioned this, and then I think I had a discussion with somebody about this.
Cognitive awareness is what it is. When we can, what was you said you went through a life discovery or a life what? What was the term you used?
That's what I'm trying to remember. It don't matter. It'll come back to you.
But it's not too often that, in the moment, we ever stop and can ask ourselves, how am I feeling right now? And take one of these three, take three off of this whole entire chart and be able to do it that quick with it inside of our head in the moment. Yes. When, look, I just heard the phone ring. Okay. Yeah. The old me would have heard that and said, that's the ex-wife. And I'm going into a fucking rage instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I can understand that. I'm so happy that I've never had any contact with any of my exes ever. When they become my ex, they never contact me again. I've never been contacted by an ex, ever.
You know, when you got 3 kids with one, it's kind of tough, especially when you got full custody.
I understand. So. I'm saying I can understand your frustration because I couldn't do it.
But you know what I mean? It's that trigger. It's that ding of that phone, right? Has everybody so triggered. Just our phones have us triggered by our own addictions to the processes and our routines of our life. You know, and when it comes to, I think like for the most part, we are zombies. We are bound.
Yep.
And for the most part, we are just, our brain chemicals have more actual like control of our bodies.
You want to know a secret?
We are of these things, of these feelings and emotional triggers, and understanding that.
You want to know a secret?
Yeah, I love secrets.
That you may already know, but maybe have never said in words or heard said in words, but probably you would understand what I'm saying.
I won't tell anybody.
It's not that hard to be smart, I guess you could say, if you train your brain to have all thoughts at the same time and then learn how to wade through them.
Yeah, it's a lot easier just to say fucking no, live in fear and live in like almost a paranoid state that you can't even like. There's the thing about addictions. We never fucking see them when we're in them. It's always hindsight that allows us to change. It's always that inside thinking that allows us to accept that we may have wronged somebody or done something that internally we just don't agree with, right? So when we fall short of our own expectations of ourselves that we haven't even defined, right? When most folks, 99% of people in America can't define like what their expectation is of themselves.
Yep.
They know the concept in a weird theoretical way of like, you know, what's good and bad and where you draw the line and all that stuff. But to really break it down to that far of a definition, that how can I maintain or be upheld to a contractual obligation for a job if I can't manage an expectation, right? Relationships are give and take. Everything we do is give and take. It's all judged on that fucking clout measure. How much you're putting in is going to how much I'm putting out. If you're not putting out, then I ain't putting out. And you know, the fucking stubbornness and the inner struggle of, you know, knowing that things should be better, but maintaining a routine. So, you know, so you can play joyful, even though you really fucking are miserable. That's when shit gets fucked up.
See, this so I don't want to make this about you, because
not that you were.
That would not be.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm not even sure. I thought you were talking about you, not me.
Yeah, basically.
So I'm gonna get off of you because I don't like making the show's about me. I understand. I do everything backwards.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No. You'll understand. I do everything backwards here, right? When you come here, it's like Alice in Wonderland. So I don't interview you to get to know you, because that can be detrimental to you, right? Like that, you go on Jerry Springer, that's not good for you usually, right? So I don't ever interview you to get to know you, because it's better that nobody knows you for the most part. I don't want to get in your head, because if I get in your head, I might make you turn into a marionette and accidentally find something high and think that you can fly. So I'd rather never do that. Instead, what I do is I try to talk to you about me, and then you can say whatever you want, right? But I always bring it back to me. People always say, oh, you only ever talk about you. And I'm like, right, because if I start talking about you, you're going to be really upset. Right? So I don't really talk about other people too much.
Dangerous.
At all.
He's dangerous.
At all. I'm very careful that I don't even say people's names a lot of time or anything like that, because then people hear about it. All of a sudden, some type of terrible nightmare, and I tell them, go wash your vagina, and then I don't even care.
Nice.
So,
Smells like fish.
yeah. When it comes to this, I think that a lot of people don't even know any of this, right? Because I'm just sitting here thinking, because this happened organically, right? And like when you look at this, you can see all the different faces that you see on YouTube. Right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, all the different.
And this is the thing. Just because I'm a simp, right? Because you're my brother. I'm always going to talk good about you, unless I actually have something bad to say about you. But then I'm going to say it to your face, right? I'm not going to say it on my show unless you're here.
Yeah.
But so, when I look at certain people on the internet, like a lot of people will have a lot that's bad to say about Flo, for instance. And they don't have a problem with him as far as I can see because of anything that affects them, but rather that they don't like that they see things that they don't even know what it is off of this picture in him that they envy. We can see your buddy in the background. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Fatty? Is that all right? What's up, random dude? So, for instance, some of the things that I've seen from Flo is this, right? Which is, like you said, not a negative, right? We've seen this. We've seen this. We rarely see this. We often see this. We often see this. We often see this. We rarely see this. Right? Often see that. Often see that. Often see that. Often see that. I make him that. Right?
I've been there.
Sometimes see this. On good nights, you see this. He's super happy. Seen this a few times. Right? When he screams, why? Right? But he already knows all this stuff. Right? He knows this because he knew what I was talking about. Other people didn't. It's weird that people don't know this. And it is weird that you picked up on that you got to end up in a rehab or something. I wasn't in a rehab. I was in anger management groups.
Yep.
From a very small child.
Yep. That's really where you're going to find more of this stuff is in anger management treatment in America for emotional trigger awareness.
Yep. And then so some of the good things. See, people see this. Yeah. You never see that from Flo. You never see him jealous.
No.
Right?
If anything else, he's pretty much
the real bad
shit.
Helps other people, right? Yeah. But the real bad ones you don't see. Out of Flo.
He's pretty even keel. He's definitely pretty even keel. And he has that psychological background too with all the with the
Vedic religion thing or whatever.
Oh no, like the other 4-letter word, whatever it is, the
banks.
The labeling system that they always refer to of RFTG.
Yeah, it's like Vedic astrology.
No, more the psychological stuff of the
MK Ultra.
What do they call it? It's like the RSTP scale or something.
Yeah. No, that's the Vedic astrology.
That's not Vedic. That's
what you're referring to are the acronyms that are used for the different personality type makeups.
Yes, that shit.
That's what you're.
Yeah, that's
yeah, but it's called it's called Vedic astrology, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I've talked to him about it quite a few times. Yeah.
Either way, he knows about that stuff, and definitely there's a lot of people that don't, understand that. And we've talked to couple times at least about, in general, like people don't understand that we're all playing a role. Yep. And even when we're playing a role that we're trying to play, we're actually conceiving of a role that we're playing a role within the dynamic of everything else. Yep. That's what we don't see, is the dynamic. Self-absorbed, the world revolves around me, the sun spins around my fucking presence, and everything around me, I'm just the victim, right? I have no cards. All the cards are being played against me, and everything. I have to tell it what to do because I'm the only one that knows what to do and how it should be.
Mm-hmm. But they want to take no responsibility if other people follow their advice, right?
Don't even know what that word means. No, there's like liability. Like there's just the concept of liability, that somebody else is always fucking guilty of what's going on. It's never our fault. We can always find somebody and fucking sue somebody to displace the blame, right?
Yep.
This is like, remember when it was, I think it was Khrushchev that said something about like, we'll take over your whole fucking society and never fire a single shot.
Yep.
This is how those things get done, right? These
I'm going to show you how it's done.
Like the old guys talk about. Oh.
Men charged with hugging and kissing are among group publicly caned by Indonesia Islamic court.
That's fucked up.
It's like, and that Danny said, this is the trains. And I'm like, duh, doesn't have to be a train. This punishment is horrifying reminder of the institutionalized stigma and abuse faced by LGBTQ. See, if you take that out, then maybe I'd be all right with this. Intimate relationship between the consenting adults, was never criminalized, amnesty, whatever. It's going to make me mad thinking about it, so I'd rather not. I used to do a news show, Fatty, but I used to break down crying and screaming and stuff during news shows when they got to be about kids. I'm trying to do it again, but I don't know if I can.
What do you think about the Epstein shit?
That's part of the reason why I was really, when Flo said that he saw a change in me over like a 2-3 month period or whatever. Part of it was the lady who died in Australia. Part of it was the Ghislaine Maxwell thing. Part of it was the Epstein lies that we heard, and Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and watching Americans just sit around acting like it's just another day. And I go, all of you are responsible for this. All of you are responsible.
And will be held accountable.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
They never will. Yeah, well, you may believe in fire and brimstone. I think that's a nice nursery rhyme so that the slave masters get away with murder, but
it's more about karma and more about
I don't believe so.
The comeuppance and shit like that.
I don't believe so. Yeah. Because I'm punished way more harshly than the greatest, most horrible people ever. And I'm punished more harshly than they are. So no, incorrect. Right? Just like when people have talked about, I think it was Job or whatever. Maybe it wasn't. It was somebody else. The one that God punished forever.
Job.
To show the devil, blah, 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 blah. Right? All the stuff I really don't care about in the Harry Potter story. But
yep. Took them all out and left them with nothing, and he still had faith.
Right. Yeah, but all that is, right? All that is to tell a person like me, oh, you just haven't gone through enough yet, 10th man. You just got to endure the pain a little bit longer, and then you'll be rewarded. Well, you know how many elderly people I saw die that weren't rewarded, and then go, oh, well, Jesus will save you later on. Just go up into the castle in the sky and everything will be all right. So no, I can't hear it. I can't hear the karma argument. I can't.
In life, it'll come around in life before it does in death. Even if they're not held so-called legally or whatever, physically, like.
I'm saying I don't believe Epstein's even dead. I've been saying that since day one.
He's dead. Oh, he's dead for sure. I think so. I thought it for a while, but but they definitely got rid of his.
His bank account's still active.
She'll be gone before Thanksgiving, dude. She's gonna find some rat poison or a window or some shit's gonna happen. Like, come on.
Since when are dead people allowed to have active bank accounts? Tell me. Why are dead? Since when are dead? His own brother has said, my brother's bank account is still active.
And there's funds going in and out of it. And
how will we know that? It's a private bank account. But since when did dead people have bank accounts? That's illegal.
Since when could a system of federal authority not find all this shit out if they really fucking wanted to?
Well, I can just tell you that I showed the pictures of Epstein versus alive and not alive, and they're not the same person. People say bloating, and I'm like, and then somebody was on the panel, and they're like, yeah, I used to work in a hospice. No, that's not the same person.
I mean, you do get fat sitting around in jail eating bread and shit, but like...
yeah, no, all right, I'll pull it up then. Oh, my goodness. My channel's going to get taken away. I don't care anymore. I'd rather lose all my archives. I'm actually so close to leaving YouTube at this point because of the stuff that I've experienced in the last couple months. I don't know. I'm gonna take 5/5 advice. I'm gonna keep on pushing through. I think that maybe good things are in the future, or really bad things. We'll see.
I think it's gonna get really fucking horrible.
No, I mean for me specifically. I don't care about the rest of you. You guys can all die in a fire pit of hell for all I care, as long as things are good for me. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yep.
Like, I gave up. I had a big argument with this Dubwubs guy the other day, and he's like, "Oh, well, that means that you're a piece of shit." And I'm like, "All right, whatever, bro. You're American, right? Well, I'm blaming you for it, and then you're telling me I'm the bad guy, but what have you done to right any of these wrongs that your country's doing? I've been fighting my government. Have you been fighting yours?
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Oh, yeah. I'm going on my 47th fucking Twitter account, bro.
Yeah, I know. I get it. That's why I don't use Twitter.
Well, Elon doesn't like it when I make his pictures sing wet ass pussy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I loathe Elon Musk.
You know,
I loathe Elon Musk more than probably anybody on earth. Do you ever see the interview with his mother?
Yeah, man, the guy's a fucking freak.
Do you ever see the interview with Elon Musk's mother? When she's explaining how poor they were with their emerald mine? Or emerald mine?
Yeah.
I almost got the pictures here. Where is it? Yeah, that's not a good one. I'm trying to find the one I found the other day. Epstein. You can leave whenever you want. I'm going to shut down eventually here. Epstein comparison.
I was going to hop on with the political panel here in a couple minutes, actually. Oh, shit, it's already 5.
Oh, where's that? Where's that?
Blue Dot. Blue Dot in Texas.
Put a link in the back.
I've got a Blue
Are
Dot.
you a mod here?
John's been
Just
doing.
Share the channel out in the main chat.
Yeah, here, I'll grab it.
For clicks and views.
Wolf Mech knows what's up.
What's up, Danny? Did you hear about the pew pew? Yes. Grid was talking about it earlier, and this show kind of almost became about that in some ways during this show.
Pretty
a couple times.
Pretty fucking crazy that
without talking about it.
Like we're so conditioned already, right? This is how conditioned America is, right? When we have incidents like this,
oh, I know.
What's the first thing? Who's the first person that gets blamed?
Parents.
Who's the first group of people that gets blamed for the situation happening? The trans.
Gun owners.
The trans.
Gun owners.
The trans, bro. They're always trans.
Well,
how are these people that do this, right? These right-wing people that cannot see very well get labeled as trans within a half an hour of these things happening? Where's the trigger mechanism that
I have to speak figuratively about this,
out, right? So the first one to hit the story, right, runs with the whole thing, and now all the other ones that want to defend the fact that the person is not that, right?
The answer to the question is both the answer to this question as well as the answer to the same question that you're asking right now. It's the same answer. Get it? If you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not going to tell you how to think. You think what you want. I'm just telling you. The answer is in this picture to both questions. That's what I believe.
Given the new evidence, that's pretty weird.
Right? Same thing with Crooks. Same thing with all the things. You think that the person that actually was on the roof was the same guy that was cremated, you've never seen Mission Impossible. If you think that the world is not like the movies, then why is your president a reality television star? Answer the question. Not you, I'm saying in general. Right? But other people would rather I be doing drama right now. That's why there's 6 people watching, Fatty. And this is the reason why I don't want, right? If I was doing drama, there'd be 50 people watching. Right? But when it's just me interviewing Fatty, or whatever was happening here.
But there being a bunch of leftist fucking communist Marxist fucking radicals.
No, nobody, they all just want an enemy, right? It's the Imagine Dragons.
Yeah. Enemy,
right? Mm-hmm. That's what it's all.
We all need somebody to hate, man. We all need somebody to hate. They, them, and the others, bro. They're always out there. They are always coming, right? The others, wherever the fuck they are. We have to have something to hate. When you get to be able to control that trigger that people feed off of, now you're really talking about something, right? Now you're really talking about some upper level shit.
But I could. And I can.
Like when you could literally come out on stage, right?
But I don't want to.
And just say Joe Biden and have half the fucking country get triggered, you got some power behind you, right? Especially when those people don't even realize that they're being triggered on purpose.
Sorry, I gave you a bad picture. 1 second here. Now that picture I showed you wasn't the good one because it showed it without the lines below on the one I showed the other day, but I don't know where that picture is. But without the lines, you can see like it's not fake. The Epstein ear thing and the nose. Yeah.
It's pretty convincing.
Just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense.
I mean, I've thought it for a long time. It just doesn't seem, well.
Face Off.
Oh, Face Off's the best one, dude, for sure.
That's what it is.
Two-Face, and what was that was the other one with John Travolta and Nick Cage,
Nicolas Cage.
Great one.
Correct. And that's pretty much what you're saying. With different degrees of variation.
I mean, I've thought about this quite a bit because I mean, really, to me, it's a toss of a coin or a crapshoot, because trying to figure out what Trump was doing and what was in his mind 2.5 years ago, let alone like 5 or 10 or 15 years ago, like is impossible, because he's the ultimate showman.
Right.
He showed his true self. And well, he may have been pretty much brilliant at this way of manipulating people, and that's how he's ingrained his whole life around it. But he's fucking nuts. He's going completely insane right now. He's fucking senile as fuck, and it's just locked into his own fucking world of yes men and enablers.
I am starting to think that he is not as sharp as, and I did a few shows about that, or at least presented it on other people's shows, where I'm like, you know, when he was being told that it was MS-13 on the fingers and that interview and all that stuff, and I'm like, who's to say he's like, everything? Oh, he's in the greatest condition for 80, and it's like, yeah, we heard that before. So
oldest
like
president ever.
Like, he seems like he's on it, but also he's not the same man he was 10 years ago. So is he? He'll say, oh, he learned. Or has he gone soft?
Learn how to cheat more. Like, learn how to cheat better, right? Learn how to cheat without getting caught. Fuck that. You tell people what you're going to do out in the open, right? And they look fucking right past it.
True. That's true.
Especially when you're in office and you're telling people, you know, they're going to come for you, but they're going to come for me first, because it's our team, right? And it's our side, and they're going to come for you, right? But they got to come through me first, right? And don't trust any other truth, because only I know what's true. Okay, only I can tell you what's the truth, right? And we all have
same people.
We have to not allow any outside source of information to taint our fucking way of thinking.
But then those same people,
that's where shit gets weird.
Yeah, but then those same people that said they're going to protect you from the thing actually do the thing to you and pay the organization that they controlled before they even said that they were going to do that, so that then they get proven right. And then
who controls that organization that was hired to do that?
All of them. They're all owned. Show me one that's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've got these systems, and we can't necessarily define who the individuals are. All right. We can speculate on who the actual like person is and kind of how they're involved with things. But like, you know, Oak Grove and the, you know, like the old school, like meeting halls of old men in smoky back bedrooms, right? That shit doesn't exist anymore. Right now it's all done like digitally, or is it even being done? And we're just so trained to be fucking manipulated to think there's always a conspiracy. There's always a reason why something isn't the easiest thing possible. When on 99% of the time, the easiest thing possible is what's really happening. The easiest way to just define something is typically the best way, right? We are creatures of habit. We manifest our own path of least resistance. We go out of our way to manifest a path of least resistance. You know, and when we hit the resistance, we don't know what to do, because we're so fucking ingrained that everything's just the way it is, and we just carry on, and we just bootstraps and all that bullshit, right? When in reality, that's just the video game. That's the path that's been laid before us. But we get to.
But isn't that what they want?
Path.
But isn't that what everybody wants?
Well, yeah, basically,
like the majority of people, right?
Kind of like an ant colony, you know. You don't just you just fall into line. You just do your thing because that's what you do, and that's your definition, and you don't really think about it, and don't opine on things online and argue about what you think and feel is right.
I'm just saying that's what they want.
In which case, control is an illusion until we start thinking that we're being controlled by a system that we can't define.
But people say they want a rational discussion, but they don't.
No, they want a logical discussion that makes sense to them and them only. And if not, then it's proving points and, you know, things of that nature where you've got to maintain clout.
Prove it.
Right?
Prove it, put hands on it. Last time I put some dick.
You know, that's the thing. I'll tell you. To be able to
I went over to CT's and encounter that guy. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was thinking Flo is a very good multitasker and can envision kind of, yeah, he's got a good thing going. Old T-Bone. Mm-hmm. Dropping the clips just right at the right time. Just he's got a good understanding of kind of conversational flow and can, you know, definitely hit that right button at the right time that just makes the fucking, yeah, makes the point. It's good shit.
I'm working on my stuff. I just, you know,
well,
streaming and busy, and
I think there's.
I haven't done this for 2 years.
Kind of when he came in and started getting bigger and bigger, and what's his name, Script Boy started freaking out, and Zebrahead started freaking out, and whatever, that he kind of took all the, you know, all the best options and just put them all. Well, didn't take them, but just incorporated just his own fucking style, and it fucking totally works. It's fucking pretty good shit. And this is, you know, something that people don't realize. You know, we're communicating in ways that are brand new to all of humanity.
Yes.
We're not programmed. Our bodies aren't used to this type of shit. This came on way too fast for our bodies to keep up with the technology we're using and everything we're doing.
Or even our minds.
It's just a coping mechanism. Like everything, all of our triggered responses are usually just ingrained coping mechanisms from situational shit from when we were growing up. Learning how to deal with shit as they come up and just deflect and shell up, and it's fucking kid shit. It's really sad that most folks don't even have a clue that there's anything like this going on with themselves. You know? And that's part of the fucking keeping the people dumb by the people that are actually in control of the corporations that control the corporations that get hired to control the situation.
Well, so everybody wants to be distracted, and it gets boring.
Yeah,
I don't mind. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not, because I don't know if you caught any of Sasquatch's last night or Flo's. So Fatty, you know Fatty, right?
Oh yeah,
the other Fatty. So he found a unicorn, a literal unicorn, frolicking through a meadow.
Was it black?
Yes.
Awesome.
And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm looking for it right now. And then some other people said they didn't think it was funny. And I get the whole mass hypnosis thing, and maybe people would try to pull away from that. That's not what I saw. What I saw was we don't like to be happy.
Yeah.
We would prefer to act above others than laugh. Right?
Yeah.
I think this was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Dusty has already sent a letter or an email to this female pirate lady to have a conversation with her, possibly with Mr. Mister, maybe with me dressed up like a gypsy fortune teller, like I did on October of 2021. I told him I will bring it back for this bit for sure, right?
Yeah.
And this unicorn is the gift that keeps on giving. So I went to Flo's, right? And we watched some of this, right? And I'm mostly just watching. I already saw part of this before, but it was because I was in an argument with Rizla on OG Do Dirties. So this was auxiliary to what I was talking about. And in all honesty, I probably should have forgot about Rizla and made it about her, but I was so mad at Rizla, I didn't think about it. I made a few jokes about her, but I'm like, and that's not what this show is about right now, but it might be in the future. Well, it should have been about that, right? So I'm stupid. All right?
Yeah.
But what I am good at is making things better. Right? I may not be first on the train, but I'm really good at telling you how to get on the train after I've been on it 3 times. So we watched some on Dusty's, then I went over to Sasquatch's. We watched some over there, but it got shut down. So my phone died, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to go to sleep. But I realized when we went over to Sasquatch's, I'm like, yeah, I'm coming to the conclusion that we need to not listen to anything anybody else says, because I personally think that it's a travesty to all the gods of comedy. I didn't say that at the time, but I might as well have. We'll say I did. That because there's certain times where the 2 dudes who are on here are like, no, you stop talking. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. There should never be another person talking other than this woman ever again for the rest of history. You need to shut up. You're not funny. You're not entertaining. I am not enjoying listening to you talk. Shut up and let the pirate talk. Shut up right now and let the fucking pirate talk, or I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm not joking. And Sasquatch said the same thing. He's like, yeah, and he's skipping through. Because I'm telling you don't want to, I'll show you. I'm going to show you right now in real time. This is why I'm a genius, but I'm a genius in ways that help other people and not myself, right? Now I guess I can help myself a little bit, but everybody's already gone. I don't care about that. So watch this. Oh, fuck, I didn't share it.
What do you got?
Fucker, I'm sorry. My neck's killing me. My neck's killing me, bro. I've been going too hard, but whatever.
I didn't learn anything. Blame someone else.
Now, listen to him talking. I am not entertained. It's boring. Watch how this unfolds, and you tell me if you want to hear anyone talk about her.
The man that's almost there blames, and has finally figured everything out, blames no one, right? You're in the process of blaming black men for, again, your unrealistic expectations and you applying all these different things and philosophies that you run to try and find answers for your life. And it's human.
You're on a different screen now. Switch devices, bro? Is that what's going on? Or you were sharing a screen? I don't know what you did, Fatty. What's the other screen for? I can't hear you now.
It's a patriotic unicorn.
Nice. Did you just make that?
No, I had this one since 4th of July.
Our land of liberty.
America. Fuck no.
I'm just saying, this lady is the most magnificent thing that has ever befallen YouTube streets. Watch this. Yeah, well, you got to watch her fate. What?
Where's she come from? What's her deal?
I have no idea. Her name is Dunquisha Queasy.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
And at one point here, I don't know if I think we might already be past it, but she says it quite a few times because she's a script girl, but it's wonderful. Like if Paul could do this, then I would respect him, but he's doing it wrong, right? But at multiple points here, she explains to Mr. Fantastic that she has now taken his name from her. She has taken his name from him, and she's now Miss Fantastic, and he's now Mr. Ordinary.
Can I still be Mr. Fabulous?
I don't know, but I fucking love this shit. Now listen to the dudes talk. It's so fucking boring. It makes me want to stab my ears out with pens. And then you only want to hear her watch us.
Okay. But again, the war and the battle that you're trying to wage makes absolutely no sense because you're telling black men that I want you to be this and you need to be this and you need to be that. But then you're the biggest op. All you got to say is negative shit. Dusty, crusty, dusty, defeated, and all this other shit. So how is this man ever going to live up to what you say? Let's say he does. What makes you think he wants you? I don't fucking want you. If I am the man you claim to be and all you're doing is shitting on my name and my image and who and what I am, my essence, why the fuck would I pick you to stand beside me? And again, you're the epitome of the problem with black women. They think you can don't want black men. Niggas ain't, niggas can't, niggas don't, niggas won't. And then expect them to motherfucking be there for your provider and your protector at the end of the race. And it's just not going to be what it is. You should fucking rest in your femininity, okay? And appreciate the black men in your life, okay? Or the black men that could potentially be in your life that are out here doing the right thing and choose those men. But again, y'all don't want those men till they too late. And you're the example, even when it is too late, you still don't want them because you can't get over your own previous trauma. So
okay. Let me jump in. Let me explain something to you. There's something called the matriarch. And the matriarch is an older black woman. And at this age, young buck, we're not interested in humping and bumping. We are wiser now and we see problems because we are the leaders. We see without our own town, our own city, that our own what we control and operate it, we see that we're going to drown. We see that we're dying out. See, this is what the black woman see. Now imagine if I was with one of y'all and y'all not doing what y'all supposed to. I would have to take my energy and focus it on you. I'm not doing that no more. I want to focus my energy on the Black American community because we have to save ourselves. We're dying out here. And you are the muscles. You are the builders. Get your tail somewhere and start building and get offline. Don't nobody want to hear y'all constantly online, like I told you, time and time again, talking about the black woman. Damn the black woman for now. That white man is beating your ass. The white man is beating your ass. Don't worry about the black woman. The man within you should say, I no longer want to be under the jurisdiction of this devil. We make enough money. I believe we make over $1 trillion here, Black America, where we can have our own. But let me tell you, instead of us building our own, instead of you as the builder, and you're supposed to be the leader, but you're not the leader. Unless We put pressure on you. That's why I'm here. That's why the ancestors blessed me to be here, to put pressure, to lean on you. Lean on you. Stay off these damn internets. I'm the leader. I'm telling you what to do. Listen to me, black man. Stay your stupid ass off this internet talking about relationships. Be quiet.
Can I ask a question to both of y'all? Who historically carried the community on their back more, black man or black woman?
The black woman, and everybody know that, fatty. The black woman did. This nigga was out here running around chasing white women, going to legislation trying to get with white women. So let me finish.
You getting what I'm laying down? And so Sasquatch and I are laughing at this. Some people got mad. We're not laughing at this. Go ahead.
Did I just fall in love? I think I just fell in love.
Listen, I think they thought we were being racist. We're not. We're talking about a pirate who's screaming at people the truth about a lot of stuff, and then also her rhetoric and how hilarious it is. And then also the fact that I don't give a fuck what either one of these dudes say. I never want to hear a word that either one of these dudes say. Please never talk. Only allow this woman to talk, please.
Yeah, I second that wholeheartedly.
But her rhetoric and her body movements, and I don't. Dusty says, "There's no way this is real, right?" And I said, "I have been advised that this is real." And he's like, "There's no effing way." And I said, "I don't know. You ever watch True Blood, Fatty?"
A little bit.
With Anna Paquin?
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, well, the first season, I think. And Tara's mother had to get an exorcism because she had alcoholism.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Jeanette, and she took her to the bus in the woods.
Snake
this lady reminds me of that, Miss Jeanette. And then they run into her, and she works at a pharmacy. Right? So I don't know if this is real. I want it to be real with every fiber of my being, but it could be a caricature. But there's no way for us to know. All we can do is observe.
No, she's real. I got the radar on that shit. She's being real.
I want her to be real. Watch, it gets really good. I'm not gonna make you stay and watch.
Dude, Fantastic's like about ready to fall asleep, dude. Look at him. He's like,
because he don't care what nobody says.
Especially some.
He's
black
all
woman.
Riz. It's all he got his Riz.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest thing to do online is to find a bunch of dudes that have been dumped and exploit their weaknesses for, letting them know how bad women are.
Yes, when they are actually terrible as well.
Yep.
Right? Oh, hold on. But yeah, do we need to go back to the chart? That's what you see a little bit more of her, because she is wonderful when she gets fired up. Watch.
As a black woman, how does watching this make you feel?
Like I want to dress up like a gypsy fortune teller and battle her.
Ooh.
Like with fake nails and makeup and everything.
Wow.
Like I did in Halloween of 2021.
Fucking gnarly. Full commit. I like it.
Well, I'm just saying. Is she real? Look,
so like I
said, you're talking anyone else but her.
Make a comparison. Men, we're better. Several types of men.
Leader now, women for them to follow you. So what are you going to do to garner the respect of the women? So
I like that dude's glasses.
You were finished, or you made so continue.
See how they all talk
with men leading.
Stop. It has everything to do with
productive, attempting to make those changes. And yes, they're not building our infrastructure, as you mentioned, but that's.
Should I get a costume to wear?
The education
put up a
and
poll.
all the
There we
things
go.
that we do on our side of the kingdom. Because we are the chemists in the kitchen. We finding foods to make sure the kids is good. So that's what and we maintain the home. We decorate it. That's our side of the kingdom. And he rule his, I rule mine and we work together, as I always teach, in balance. We don't need how dare you think, after I done taught, led, guided you, created you in my womb, I've done all of this shit for you. When you get older, you are to rule over me. It doesn't work like that. I'm almost finished. Hey, I'm almost finished. You rule your side of the kingdom, and you do it to the best of your ability. I will rule mine, and I will do it to the best of my ability, and we will respect, honor, and love each other, and we will move together in unity. You are not going to rule my side of the kingdom because you ain't capable. I'm not going to go on your side trying to rule your things because I'm not capable.
Now,
so we
I don't want to hear no
together.
complaints. Y'all the ones out here complaining.
Uninterrupted. You can't. No. Uninterrupted. He let you go for 3 minutes. Uninterrupted. You can. Go ahead.
For a water type Pokemon, which is nice.
Me or him?
Him, because you went for 3 minutes. Let him at least have a chance to rebuttal.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, Fatty, I just wanted you to see what what may be coming soon to our hemisphere.
That's some good shit right there.
And she's only got like 300 subscribers.
Nice.
Supposedly, yes. I don't know where her channel is now.
It's always surprising.
I got it first. Oh, no.
People have been able to pull off the relationship grift on this shit.
Well, in all honesty, I would definitely do online relationship counseling that is not sanctioned by any board live on YouTube here and now, because I have done it and I can show you. But both of them come out beaten up like real bad.
I think it'd be great little fucking niche to get into, because that's really
I'm saying I'm going to beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'll only happen once, right? Because both sides are going to feel like I was the most horrible monster to them ever, and then no one's ever going to come back. No one will ever come to, right? That's the problem.
The accountability partner is not your accountability buddy. Your accountability partner, you know what I'm saying? That's a great name for a fucking. That's a good. It's a good brand name for a show. You know, like get people to come up here and just totally fillet them and make them feel like the idiots that they are.
Yep. Well, here's her channel. And in all reality, she's spouting a lot of real facts, but she's only got 357 subs, and she has been here since 2023. So maybe she's big on another platform. I don't know. I don't know. So what do we do now, Fatty? You got anything you want to do? How big's your channel? We should share your channel. No, you're a mod. You should have already been sharing your channel. Your stuff's hard to find.
I'm trying to stay under 300 subs. I'm trying to stay under that 300 point. I keep having to knock people down and kick people out for no reason.
Why?
Well, I got some systems and processes we'll talk off the live stream about, but there's some actions I have been taking to make a better society, so to say.
Right.
And a couple of those include.
You seem like an anarchist to me.
Oh, yeah, you got me pinned.
I know I may be new to you, but I'm not new.
Yeah,
so am I sometimes too. That's the problem.
I've voted for fucking Ross Perot every year since '96.
Well,
I do think both sides up until the past, maybe 8 or 12, 13 years have been pretty, level with the amount of fuckery. But the shit we're seeing in today's situation is a fuckery level that's not equal on either side. And
one of the
as an Eagle
the
Scout,
main
I feel it's my duty, right, to do my best, to do my duty to God and my country,
dib dob and whatever,
and to help other people at all times.
Yeah, I on the other hand have so much rage that I don't care. I have to
justify a lot of what I do for that reason, that same reason, because there's situations where it's not helpful to say the things I say to them and do the things I do to them, and mostly in real life, not necessarily online, but like real life shit that a lot of folks don't even realize goes on for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I forget what I was going to say. Shit. That's usually for the best, but then I usually remember and say it anyway.
Now I just use this fucking YouTube channel as a repository for anti-Christo-fascist propaganda.
Right. See, and I've said this a few times, and the largest majority of my rage comes from that 25 years ago, high-speed internet became a real thing. And I went, nice. Now everybody will have access to all of the information, so I won't have to deal with idiots anymore. And I think people became more stupid instead, and it's very, very upsetting. It's upsetting for me. The only thing I know how to do is attack at that point, so I don't know what to do. But anyway, I think that's about enough of this. My husband just came upstairs. I'm probably going to go hang out with my husband. It was very nice talking to you. Thank you for interviewing 10th Man. That's what I let my people interview me. And I give them stuff that they don't want to know.
It's been a pleasure. It really has. Give your old man 2 smacks on the ass for me and tell him good game.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him for 500 years. I don't talk to those people. They were terrible, terrible people. They were terrible people.
Yeah. In the words
they didn't
of
start out terrible.
Christ. You're burning me alive over here, woman.
Yeah, but they didn't start out terrible. That's the problem is when you watch people go from good people to bad people.
Yeah,
then
that's just life, though.
Well, it doesn't have to be. All right. It's nice talking to you, Fatty. I'm going to go and enjoy your train rides. Bye, everybody. Everybody, don't forget, when they come to put you on the trains in the dead of night, they're pounding on your door. They say you got to get on the train because you have coronavirus or whatever random thing that they wrote a piece of paper that says you have to get on the train for. And you're not going to be able to call anybody to clear things up because business hours are 8:30 to 4:30. You can go fuck yourself.